Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, are you taking today's science class for class 8?
Yes, I'm taking dance class for class 8.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, are you taking for 7th and 8th combined?
Yes, combined.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Your faculty is on leave today, so I'm supposed to take a common lesson for both of you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Venkata, did you do the homework that I gave you in last class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you haven't sent it to me yet.
Oh, is that WhatsApp? I have to send it to you?
Yeah, if you send it me on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll do it then.
Yeah. Harshit, can you tell me what have they taught you so far in your class?
Ma'am, we are doing the chapter microorganisms,
Okay.
Chandal 4. We completed the harmful microorganisms.
Okay.
We need to start food spoilage.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Did
can you just
you guys study about crop production management?
ma'am, yes, I think we studied.
Okay, but did they like teach you in detail in class what crop production and management is about?
Ma'am, actually, I was absent at that time.
Okay, fine. Vinisha, can you tell me?
Mom, I'm sorry, but I was absent yesterday.
Yesterday, okay, fine. But before that, you were present, right? So did they take up any lesson named crop production management for you all?
I joined only one class of science because I'm a new
All
student.
right. Okay, okay, fine, fine.
When I was there, sir was teaching us microorganisms.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All of you all, please turn your cameras on. Anubhav, Meghna, Harshit, Vinisha, cameras on, please, all of you. Anubhav, you too. Harshit, camera on. We'll wait for like 5 more minutes. Just wait for the remaining class to join. And today we'll talk about crop production management. Okay. Class 7, you're done with the soil lesson. Okay. So this is a small intro to what crop production is. We already saw about what actually plant products are and how they develop, how they grow, and everything. So this is just a small summary for y'all. You'll obviously have advanced information because it's from 8th grade. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the lesson. The rest of the class, for those who have not had a class with me, so I'll be like writing notes of whatever I'm teaching. Okay, and I'll give you all, like, after I'm done with each topic, I'll give you all like 5 minutes or how much of a time you want for you to make notes. Okay, so when I'm actually teaching, I don't want you all to write down anything. I want you all to concentrate on class. And when I'm giving you all the time to write it down, at that time you can ask me whatever doubts you have to clarify. Right? Okay. To start off with, crop production and management. Okay, so what is this crop? Kritvik, can you tell me what is the meaning of crop? What is crop?
Mom, it's a fertile plant which is like grows.
Generally, you know that, yeah, definitely, it's just a normal plant, okay, which is used for as a source of food, right? And it is normally cultivated in a large cultivable land. So you will define crop as, and you also know that all crops are of the same kind of plants. Okay, they all look something like this only, though the grains that you get from them are different. Okay, so crops are plants of the same kind that are grown and cultivated as a source of food. Where do they grow this? In a large cultivable land. Is known as crop. All right. So there are crops that is grown in the winter and crops that is grown in the summer. So you have winter crops and you have summer crops. These are the two types of crops. The winter crops are normally from what month to what month they're grown is. They're grown from October to March. Okay. Whereas the summer crops is grown from July to October. So it's like summer and then winter. It goes on like that. Okay. So this winter crop is also known as, the typical name for winter crops is Rabi crops. You call them Rabi crops. And the summer crops are called as Kharif crops. So know that summer crops are Kharif crops, Rabi crops are winter crops. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now for this crops, you cannot simply grow crops everywhere that you want. You can't just grow a crop in your house. That's not possible. So you need a large land in order to cultivate a large amount or a large mass of crop, because this crop is a staple diet for rice. It's a crop. It's a staple diet of the whole population of India. So without this, obviously our everyday lives won't run. So for that, you need mass production. You need to choose the appropriate soil in order to grow the appropriate types of crops. Because in rice itself, you know, there is so many varieties. You have basmati rice, you have the normal Kerala rice, which is more like small. They look more smaller than the normal rice that we consume, and they are brown in color. So all these are rice only, but there are different varieties. That is why I've given over here. They're all the plants of the same kind, but then you know the breed and the variety is all different. Okay, so you need an appropriate soil or different soil for growing different types of crops with different nutritional value. So how is this soil prepared? Okay, that's what we're going to see. Preparation of soil. Okay, so preparation of the soil is the first step that you take before cultivating crops for food production. So this is the first step to be taken. Okay, so soil is prepared for sowing the seeds of the crop. because you cannot just sow them anywhere. You know that they should be sown exactly in the soil, and that too, you should know where to actually place the soil, not very deep inside or not shallow above, but it should be of the correct depth and length. So seeds are okay. So this sowing of seeds in the soil, it is carried out using various processes and tools. Okay, you're going to use different methods for making the soil suitable for actually growing the plant. Okay, so one of the different processes are equipped for the whole process. Okay, so one of the process is what we'll be seeing right now. One of it is tiling or plowing. Okay, tiling or plowing. Okay, so basically, you know that there should be, why we are saying you should not put it very deep or very shallow right above, is because you want the seed to receive enough amount of water, enough amount of sunlight, air, everything should be received to its adequate amount for the seeds to be enriched and to be grown in a healthy way. Okay, so you should loosen up the soil. If the soil is very tight, very closely held, and the seed is somewhere inside, then the sunlight is not going to reach, the water is not going to reach. Okay, so this is all going to make it difficult for the seed to grow well. So you should loosen up the soil. Okay, the soil should have some, each particle of the soil should have spaces in between them for all these products to actually reach the seed. So the process of loosening of the soil or turning of the soil is called tiling of or plowing. Okay, this is done using a plow. Plow is nothing but, you must have seen this everywhere, obviously. This is a plow. This is done using a tractor. This is actually a manual plow where the farmer does it by himself. You know, they connect it to a bullock cart. You can see over here. They connect it to a bullock cart and they let the horse or the cow or the buffalo run. Okay, which makes the land more fertile, or it makes the soil more loosened up. Okay, so plowing is done with the help of a plow, and it is the process of loosening and turning off the soil. It is done with the help of a plow. Okay. So before now we'll talk in detail about what a plow is and how it is used and why it is designed like that. We're going to see all that. So if we go to that, please make note of everything. If there is any doubt, please ask me. And tell me when you're done. Tell me your name and tell me when you're done with noting it down. Make it quick. Quickly, guys, don't take a lot of time. Mommy. Apple dikka. हाँ. हाँ. Prithvik, are you done?
Ma'am, I'm in tallying or tolling.
Ma'am, Varshit completed.
Okay.
Ma'am, Prithvi completed.
Ma'am, Manisha done.
Ma'am, Meghana done.
Ma'am, I'm Rohit and I'm done.
I'm Harshit done.
All of you are done. Anybody left? Who else is still writing? Please let me know so that I can actually wait for you all. All of you are done?
Ma'am, I'm
Okay. Tell me when you're done.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm done.
Okay. I hope no one else left. Anybody left? All right. Now we're going to see what plowing is. Okay, what do you do with plowing and why we're using that tool for actually the tiling process. Okay. Okay. So a plow is nothing but it's a device that is actually used by the farmers for different purposes, such as why we need to do or why we need to loosen up. Why loosening up is essential is because it's not only necessary for the water, for the sunlight or the air to reach the seed, but also you need the fertilizers and all the insecticides that you're adding to actually reach the plant to be effective. So plow is a device that is used by the farmer for different purposes, such as adding of fertilizers, tiling, and loosening the soil. So the materials or the steps that is actually used for it, it's a device. To add fertilizers. For these purposes, tiling is necessary with the help of a plow. Sorry, plowing is necessary. Okay. So it is also used for adding of fertilizers to the soil and also for removing the weeds. For scraping the soil, just making it more fertile and soft. So what is weeds? Why it's supposed to be removed? Anybody?
Ma'am, weeds is the waste that comes out of the soil.
Waste comes out of soil. Okay. Anybody else?
Ma'am, weeds are the plants which absorb all the nutrients from the soil,
Okay.
but they don't give. But they are not useful.
Okay. Anybody else who wants to try? So why we need to take out, so in general, weeds are just unwanted plants. They don't have any purpose. You cannot use them in food or anything, just unwanted plants. And all the nutrients that we apply or supply to the crops is all absorbed by the weeds. Okay, so it doesn't reach the plant that we actually desire, but it goes to this unwanted plant, which is of no use. That's why all of these weeds are supposed to be cut off, so the nutrients that we supply actually reaches the desired crops. Okay, so it is the unwanted plants. All right, so the plowshare is the triangular iron strip. Wait. Okay, this is the plowshare. Okay, you actually say it as this whole thing. The image is the plowshare. The stick over here is the shaft, and the front portion is the plow. So totally, it's called a plowshare. Okay, so plowshare is the triangular iron strip. You can see that it's a triangle in the front, right? So if I can show it to you. So this portion is the plowshare. All right, it's the triangular iron strip. Okay, so plow shaft is the main part of the plow. Okay, so plow shaft. So know the difference. The plowshare is made up of iron, but the plow shaft is made up of wood. This is plow shaft. All right, so plowshare is the main part of the plow, which helps you hold the plow basically. Okay, there here you apply the force here. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, you apply the force here, and it is reflected over here. Okay, the more force is applied over here, the more it's reflected over here, which is again reflected in the soil. Okay, so the other end of the shaft, it has the handle. This is the handle portion. This is the shaft. This is the handle where you actually hold. Okay, you can see there's a gap over here, right, for you to actually hold it. Okay, so the other end of the shaft has a handle. The other end is attached to a beam. So actually here you will, this part, can you see? This part is where it actually touches the soil. And this is the part where tiling process happens. Okay, so here this handle, you actually hold it, you attach this portion to the neck of the bull. Okay, so look again, this gap you see over here is the handle. This part is attached to the neck of the bull. Okay, so a wooden traditional plow can be operated by an ox or a man. Okay, so nowadays these wooden plows are being replaced by iron plows. Okay, so okay, make note of this. After this we'll look
Ma'am,
at
I have a doubt.
yes.
Ma'am, how long does the plowing process take?
It depends on the soil that you work on. If the soil is already, the farmers can actually identify the condition of the soil, if it's fertile enough for the crop to actually grow. If they find it too rough, or they find it too soggy, or very much tightened up to each other, then obviously the tiling process will happen for a longer period of time. So it completely depends on the condition of the soil.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Ma'am, should we draw the plow?
It's your wish. I won't be actually checking the notes, so you know that notes is something that you should rely on when you're writing the test. So you can write down whatever you feel is important.
Ma'am, Venetia done.
Okay.
Ma'am, Megan are done.
Okay.
Ma'am, Chris is done. Ma'am, Mercy. Ma'am, Rohit done.
Ma'am, Harshit done.
Who's left? Anybody left?
Ma'am, I'm done.
Okay.
Ma'am, done.
All right. Fine. So plow is one of the tools that you use for the tiling or the plowing process. Okay. So another tool that you use for this process is called as a hoe. Okay. So this is how a hoe looks like. You can see there's a difference between uh, a plow and a hoe. So plow is something that you can actually attach to a bull or an ox, but a hoe is something that's actually used by the farmers themselves to manually do it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So a hoe is a tool that is used to dig up the soil for removing the weeds and also to loosen up the soil before you actually plant a sapling. So obviously, you dig the ground before you put the seed inside. No, for that only you use a hoe. So there's a tool. Okay. So after hoe, we have something called the cultivator. So cultivator looks like this. It's more larger and it also covers a large amount of area. It's more but it's more easy to use than an actual plow or a hoe. Can you see? It's all attached to the tractors.
Ma'am, it's a modern way, right?
Yes, it's a modern way. It's not something that was actually there in the ancient times. In the ancient times, it was always the plowing and the hoeing method. So yeah, nowadays it's all developed and you have a cultivator. So a cultivator is this part. This portion is the cultivator. This, you know, it is a tractor. Okay. So a cultivator is attached to the tractor and this will also help in the soil. Okay. So cultivators are used instead of plows because they are faster. All right. So why are we using all these methods? So there's no point if you're using all these methods and you're just going to leave the land just as it is, right? You need to sow the seed. So after you're done with it. So you know the first step crop cultivation is to first prepare the soil.
Yes.
Then the second step is to sow the seeds. So after this, we have sowing. Okay. So sowing is the process of planting the seeds. So basically, is sowing. Okay. So the seeds are sown in the soil that is loosened by the cultivator or a plow. So once it's loosened, then only you can sow. You can't just readily sow it. Okay. Now, now you have checked the quality of the soil well enough. But if the seed is dead or the seed is expired, then the whole process of tiling and plowing is of no point. So the quality of seed is very important. So seeds quality is to be checked. It's very, very important. So quality of seed is an important factor that will actually determine the crop yield. So the healthier the soil, the more yield you will get, the more output you will get. So healthier seeds yield more. Okay. So selection of a good seed is very important and it is done by putting the seed in the water. So how will you determine the quality of the seed by putting in the water? Can anybody explain?
Ma'am, the dust and the waste material come out it can be seen in the water.
Okay. Good try. Anybody else?
And healthier seeds when they are kept in water, they germinate a bit.
Germinate. Okay. I'm repeating the question again. The quality of the seed. To check if a seed is having a good quality or not, you test it by putting them in water. So how do you test it? That is my question. Now try to answer it.
Ma'am, few seeds germinate, whereas few seeds don't. So the seeds which are germinated, they are healthier.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? It's not necessarily needs to be right or wrong. You can just try. Harshit?
Ma'am, you called.
Sorry?
Ma'am, did you call me?
Oh, you already answered.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ma'am, to check if the seed is healthy, ma'am, we can try watering it, and if it doesn't grow properly, that doesn't mean then it means the seed is not healthy.
Okay. Okay. Good try. Okay, good that all of you came forward and answered. So yes, germination is a part of the answer. Okay. So if you just take the soil that you find or that you think is having a good quality, you take a bunch of them. You take a beaker, you fill it with water, and then you put it in the water and you let them soak for around 10 minutes. Okay. So there'll be some seeds that flow to the surface. Okay. And there'll be some seeds that sinks in the water. So the one that floats to the surface are considered as non-viable, which means they have low quality. This test is known as a float test, or you call it as water germination test. So basically after they float, then they are non-viable, which means they are not healthy, they are not having good quality, they have lower yield. Okay. So
Ma'am,
why
what is it? After water, what did you put?
you soak it for 10 minutes?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So it is important that you should know that while the float test can provide some ideas if the quality is viable or not, it is not something that is you can rely on all the time. Okay, this is like a basic set that you use, but this does not give you 100% results. Okay, you need to keep that in mind. So this is generally what it is done basically by the farmers. Okay, the float test or the germination test. 1 minute, guys. Fine. So just make note of this.
Ma'am, Harshit done.
Okay, make note of the homework.
Ma'am, Varshit completed.
Okay.
Ma'am, Manisha done.
Okay.
Ma'am, Meghana done.
Okay. Anybody left? Who else is writing it right now?
Ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm done.
Please note down the homework also.
Ma'am, done.
Ma'am, done.
Okay. Who else is left? Anybody left? All done. Okay. So now we're just going to see the traditional tools that we're actually using. This is just a small topic, so you can make note of it when I'm actually writing it on board. Okay, so before the modern agricultural machinery that such as cultivators and all, traditional tools were used by the farmers. Okay, so these include, you know, that definitely we'll have the plows. Then we have the shovels. We have scythes. And pickaxes. Okay, I'll show you how each of them look like. You know, plows look similar to that of the, oh, you know, you already saw the plows image. And shovel looks similar to that of hoe. Okay, it's just you know, there's a bit of curve that is present in the shovel, whereas in the hoe it's more flat. Okay, this is how scythes look like. Okay, you all definitely would have seen these. Yeah, and this is what a pickaxe looks like. So everything is used for the same purpose. They're just of different shapes and sizes depending on the convenience of the farmer. Okay, so the traditional tool, it is used to sow the seed, and it was like, it's used like a funnel. Okay, like why they're saying it is used like a funnel is, can anybody say why this term is used, why this phrase is used like a funnel?
And to make holes in the soil to allow the seed go into the soil.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so you know that obviously pouring water into a container directly is more difficult than actually using a funnel. Funnel is more easier, right? It basically puts it directly into the particular container. Similarly, that's what they mean over here. Instead of randomly just sowing the seeds and not getting enough yield, plowing is one of the methods, like filtering only. Like you use a funnel. So it actually makes the seeds sit in a position where it has to. That is why the phrase is given, it's used like a funnel. Okay. So once the seeds is put into this funnel, they would, so you do plowing, you have a soil, you do plowing using the machine, whatever tools, traditional tools that you have. Second thing, now you know this land is fertile. So you use a funnel. Okay. Like whoever answered now. So use a funnel. This funnel, it has around 2 to 3 tubes, not just one tube, 2 to 3 tubes, which it has a sharp end. You know, a funnel goes like this. It has a sharp end, right? So it has like 2 to 3 tubes. So you can make note of it when I'm writing itself. Okay, with sharp ends. Okay, in which seeds are inserted. So the ends are pierced into the soil where the seeds will reach and it will sit there. All right, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so along with these traditional methods, you have something called the seed drills. So seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. Okay.
Ma'am, seed drill places each seed in equidistance, right?
Exactly, right. So it's more a time-saving implement. Okay. So you can see each of it actually has a hole. Okay. Okay. So each of it actually, it has a hole. So this reduces or saves time and places equal densities. Okay, so it ensures uniform, basically uniform seed distribution. Okay, and also it shouldn't be too deep or too shallow, so it should have a particular depth. Okay, this is what is ensured by seedrill, and it's also, but it is a modern way of sowing seeds. All right, make note of it.
Ma'am,
Okay.
ma'am, done. Varsh.
Okay. One more homework. What is plant nursery? Find it out. Nursery. Okay, a plant nursery. Find out what it is. That will be your additional homework. And whoever is done noting it down can leave the class.
Ma'am, done, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
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 Ma'am, Megan are done. I'm leaving the class now.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, actually in school, I'm finished with the portion for the exams which are coming. So if I have a doubt, could I post it in a doubt clarification group?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Ma'am, related to another chapter, which I'm already done with in school.
You're from 8th grade, is it?
Yes, ma'am. We finished combustion and flame also.
Okay. I think your sir will be handling your doubt stuff. He'll be answering everything.
Okay, ma'am.
But you can definitely post any additional doubts that you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Welcome. Bye.
Ma'am, in the first homework, shall we write, can we write just 1 point, or how many points should we write?
Write it for 5 marks.
Means, can we write 5 points?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I will just note down the second homework and leave.
Yeah, sure.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Ma'am, should I leave?
Yeah, when if you're done, you can leave.
Okay, ma'am, bye.
Bye bye. Hello. Hello, am I audible? Purujita Raman, I assume.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, actually the class is over. I guess you joined late. You can actually refer the lectures that has been recorded. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I was trying to join since the long back, but I wasn't able to join it. It says joining me.
Okay. You should have informed me, right? You should have dropped a text. You could have done that.
My mother texted one teacher.
Okay. I didn't get any messages regarding to let you in. Okay. Anyways, you can just refer the lecture class. Okay. I'll be taking tomorrow also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Am I audible? Ma'am, am I audible?